And I'm Mike Pingle. Next to me is the marvelous, wonderful, talented, dancing extraordinaire, Chad Michael Hall. I love men with 3 names. It's just, it's so great. It's so great.
Thank you for having me.
Today we are going to be talking about the West Hollywood Dance Festival that happens this weekend, tomorrow and Saturday. There's still tickets available for, I think, all 3 shows, or is anybody?
All 3 shows?
All 3 shows
available.
At 7:30 on both nights, also on Saturday at 2 o'clock. It is a kid-friendly show, and now we're going to ask some, Barbara Walter questions here. Okay. How did the festival come about?
Well, there's a program through WeHo Arts called the Organizational Development Grant Program. It's one of several grants that the city offers, and this one is designed for younger organizations to invite you to create programming for the city, its residents, and then they also they provide funding for this programming, and then they also provide funding for technical assistance for organizational infrastructure and increase organizational capacity, things like that. So I decided to apply, and with my company Multiplex Dance that I started in 2013. It's a dance company based here in Los Angeles, and making work locally and touring regionally. So I was thinking of what I could do for the city that they don't already have,
Yeah.
And it turns out the creative city doesn't have a consistent concert dance presence. It hasn't before. So I was also thinking that it'd be great for my company to have a place to offer, and my company members and myself as well, to teach and offer workshops and things like that. So it's sort of how it came to manifest was, well, why don't we just do a festival, and it can have an intensive training program. We can offer a series of community workshops for WeHo residents that are free, and we can perform, of course. And so we started off last year, the inaugural event. We had one guest company from Oregon and a couple of guest artists, but it was mainly us and the company and teaching.
Oh, wow.
And it was a lot of fun. It was a big success, and so the city was been amazing this year, and their support, giving us West Hollywood Park Auditorium, which is a bigger venue. You might be thinking, West Hollywood Park Auditorium, like, how do you do dance there? And it's because I like to think outside the box when it comes to presenting dance, making dance.
Yeah.
And we're turning what I have recently learned is where people play dodgeball, and there's a regulation volleyball court in there, and there's a lot of speeches and things, events in there. We're turning that floor. We're not even using the stage, actually, that's in there. We're using the main floor area,
okay.
So the audience will be seated on all 4 sides.
So kind of like a round
space. Yeah,
theater in the round.
Yes, exactly. And so the dancers will be coming
the round. We call it dancing around.
Dancing around, yes. So this will be coming very close to audience members. That could excite people, and that could be dangerous too at the same time.
Well, although dancers are very small, they're very tiny.
We're working on making it non-dangerous.
But the dances are very, very fun, and you're doing a couple of dances too.
I have 3 works in the show.
Yeah. Well, why are you here if you have 3 works in the show? Don't you have things to do?
I do. I wear a lot of hats, but you know what? I'd be bored if I didn't. So,
wear a lot of hats. That is an understatement. Your career and what you've done and the commitment you've had and going and doing it. I was tired just writing about it yesterday for WeHo Times. I was like, wow.
It's been a feverish pace for a while, but like I said, I get bored easily. So, and I love dance so much. I mean, I love making it. I love producing it. I love curating it. I love teaching it. I love writing about it, reading about it, mentoring, future professional dancers as a professor at University of California, Irvine. So, anything that has to do with dance, I love it.
Does this look like a professor's face? I mean, come on. Yeah, of course you love it. It's great. Yeah. And you're mentoring someone this week too. Yeah. Tell us a little bit how you got to meet Giselle and how that worked out.
Yeah, well, I was on a commission in Arizona last fall, and a friend of mine and a colleague, Marianne Herding, who's the director of Movement Source Dance Company, and she teaches at Xavier College Prep. We've known each other for a while. She started a community outreach program called Guide Dance. and where she pairs young, promising high school students with a mentor, and you have you sit down, have a coffee meeting or a lunch meeting, and then you're invited to keep in touch with that person. So I was paired with Giselle, and that's how I met her mentor teacher there, where she goes to school, to Chavez, Candy Jimenez. Got to know them both, and they're both delightful human beings, and Giselle is a very promising dancer. I mean, she's got a lot of talent, a lot of potential, very sweet, wonderful performance, raw emotional vulnerability and ability to perform beyond her years. Actually, I was very inspired by her and her family. I got to meet her parents, and so I just started thinking what else I could do for them. I mean, how can we have this outreach go beyond this particular moment? And so I was invited back to Arizona in the spring for another commission, and I started thinking, well, I have a solo that Candy Jimenez, when I first met her and she took one of my classes, this was last fall, she inspired me, the way she moves, and I ended up making a solo. And so I'm like, why don't I set this solo on you, and how about Giselle understudy the solo? And I was so inspired by her ability to jump into a professional solo role that's when right then and there, I called my production manager for the festival and said, I'm sponsoring a student. I'm going to meet her parents. We're going to talk about how she's going to come out, where she's going to stay. I'm just going to give her a full scholarship. She can take all the classes for free, all the workshops, and she's going to perform. And we'll figure out exactly what she's going to perform. So what we decided is she's going to do a solo.
Excellent.
So Candy is here as a guest artist doing the solo Friday and Saturday nights, and Giselle is going to perform the solo for everybody on Saturday afternoon. So
that's a must see.
Yeah, she's going to be great.
And who else is going to be performing this weekend?
So we've got 4 guest companies performing with my company, Multiplex. So 5 companies total. The guest companies are Ballet de Homme, which is French for Ballet of Men. Damien Diaz is the artistic director. These are 3 male ballerinas. Call them. They dance on point, and that's them right there. You can see them doing it.
Looming above my head.
Yeah. And we have Antics Performance, which is a hip-hop dance theater company based here in LA. They're going to be doing 2 works, as well as Ballet Dome doing 2 works. This work by Ballet Dome, they commissioned me to make that. It's called Dangerous Moves, and it's going to be combining my athletic, acrobatic, intense movement vocabulary with ballet on point. So I'm super excited about that premiere. We've got Hexagon Dance Collective, which is a brand new company based from Loyola Marymount University. There's 6 dancers that just graduated from there. They dance beautifully. They make work collaboratively. And I saw their work and thought, hey, why don't we make this a big coming out party for you guys? So they're going to be joining us. They're fabulous. And we have the Taiko Center of Los Angeles back with us, too. We worked with them last year in the inaugural festival, and that was a lot of fun. Really powerful to see live taiko drumming, Japanese taiko drumming on stage with dancing, happening at the same time. And so my rehearsal director from Multiplex, Charlotte Smith, actually choreographed a work with Willie Wu, the artistic director of Taiko Center of LA. So we're going to have that piece in the show. We also have additional guest artists, Jess Harper and dancers, and her work will be closing the show. And we have Candy Jimenez, and Giselle will also be performing.
That's great.
So something for everybody. I mean, the dance spans all genres, but contemporary, modern, hip hop, ballet, just improvisational elements. There's also a lot of theatrical components that people that you don't expect. In addition to being in the round, as you said, we are incorporating a state-of-the-art mobile app.
Wow.
And my dear friend and colleague, John Tengis, and his collaborator, Tony Reimer, have put together a version of this app that they've been developing now for a few years. We've done a few projects together in the past, and I thought, it'd be really cool to try the app. I'll explain it in a second, but try the app in a situation where, not just in the context of one creative work in dance, but of a whole show. And could the app be like an MC? And so what's happening is when you come to the show, there'll be a free download for iPhones and Androids, and then once you connect to the app, you make a username. You can send text messages that will live stream to screens.
In the event?
Yeah, wow. During intermission and pre-show. You can actually talk to other people in the space. comment on things you see.
Take pictures of yourself. I don't know.
You can actually. We can take pictures of the action. So we're inviting the audience to use their phones during the performance.
So they're kind of
usually the taboo.
of,
You get shamed if your phone goes off. Well, we flipped that whole paradigm upside down.
So they're going to be a part of the experience.
Absolutely, it's very much immersive in this digital way. We all use our phones all the time anyway, and so one of the things John and I've been asking to do as collaborators is how can we embrace this in the creative process and in performance? And so we're doing that here. Audience will be able to take pictures of dances while they're happening, and those pictures will go to a folder where we can create slideshows, and they can see their own photos. We'll upload them to social media, and we're also using the app to deliver a sort of a digital program for this. And so there's lots of focus changes. You'll be looking at your phone, will vibrate and say, pay attention to me. You look down, it'll tell you something. Then the lights come up, you look here, and we've got 2 different projection screens. Wow. It's very immersive, this experience. Come see it. Come see it. It's not your standard proscenium dance performance. It's something really different and something for everybody.
And everybody, you also want to let people know that it's open to family. It's a very family-friendly.
Yes. Mm-hmm. There's no nudity. There's no profanity in the show. So people can, and in fact, one of the main purposes for our 2 p.m. matinee is we want to provide a space and place for families to bring their kids and not have to try to put them to bed at 11 o'clock at night when they're tumbling and cartwheeling down the hallway, because that tends to be what happens. And when my company's toured, little kids tend to get really excited because of the really athletic, acrobatic nature, and they start doing some results down the. And it's adorable, but except for us, for the parents, we're like, they're not as happy.
What's great about the space that they're going to be this weekend is outside there's a whole park too, so I guess you can have the kids go out and run in the park.
That's true. That's a perfect space for them to go out and do that after the matinee.
They can
I might join them. Jump in the pool.
So tell me a little bit about this. I know some insight, but it's a very exciting, extraordinary piece. I can't wait to tell us all about it.
Well, I might tell you too much because you got to come see it because it's the premiere after all. But this is another new company. Damien Diaz danced with a very well-known ballet company of all men that do women's roles called Ballet Chocadero. He toured with them for a lot of years, and then recently decided he wanted to put back on his pointe shoes and he wanted to start his own idea artistically, start his own company. Yeah. So I met him in the beginning of the year and at a community event for choreographers, and he asked if I would just come in and watch a rehearsal, and as a new director, because I've been there so many years ago, if I had any advice, just kind of consult a little bit. Of course, I was happy to. So at the end of the rehearsal, he goes, "So what do you think?" And I was at the edge of my seat, and I was like, "I want to make a piece on you. That's what I think." And he's like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I've always thought it would be really fun to make a pointe work, but I'm not a ballet dancer. I mean, I took ballet in college. I enjoy taking ballet class, but I'm not a ballet dancer. My career I made in modern and contemporary dance. Okay. So I always thought it'd be really fun to do it's an upside down, tumbling, rolling, sliding, pivoting, launching through the air vocabulary, dance vocabulary, but figure out a way to incorporate pointe shoes and get the dancer even higher up on there. But I know nothing about pointe work. I don't pretend to. So I'm like, okay, this is going to be a giant experiment. Like, it's been a really fun process because the guys, of course, they take class every day on pointe, right? Yeah. And so there's this really cool collaboration, co-creation process that's gone on where I'm like, okay, this is what I would like to see. Can you go upside down and then fan your leg around and land right on your toe shoe in arabesque?
Ow!
And they're like, I don't know, let's try. And so we've tried a lot. It's been really cool like that. And then I've also been able to, invited them in to say, okay, this is what I'd like to see. And they're like, we need more steps. Like, we need a transition step or something. It's something that it's not in my sphere, right, of creation, but it's really on there, right there in the front of their brains. And so we've had a great collaboration in that way. So the premise of the work is expressing identity, individuality, who you are as you are, where you are. If we were to say a premise, right? It's like this. These men represent this gorgeous androgynous place that exists between binary gender roles that I think, for me, is very important. I know gender feels very fluid for me. I mean, I appear outwardly, masculine, but I have, there's a whole spectrum of how I feel in terms of gender roles that I feel, and so I allowed that to come out in me through this work. That was really fun to be able to express that. There's a little some slight references to whacking, voguing. There's a slow motion death drop in there at one point.
All right, you're giving it away. You're giving it all away.
Yeah, I shouldn't say it.
You have to go see it this weekend if you're in West Hollywood.
Yeah.
Who's a cheater? Well, this is a good teaser too. I mean, you know what I'm saying. What is your favorite dance to do and watch?
To do? My favorite dance to do is improvisation. Yeah. Modern dance improvisation. I love to, recently, in the last couple of years, I was in a wonderful production called The Men Dancers for the Horse's Mouth in New York, Jacob's Pillow in New York City, where the design of the show was you can come with some material prepared or you can improvise the entire thing. So you tell these anecdotal stories. It's a 2-minute story about your career, something about your life. And while you're doing it, there are 3 other men on stage dancing, and they have various tasks to perform in the tradition of postmodernism, where it'd say dance, improv or dance your material, but be influenced as if you're in a wind tunnel or something. And you can take that or you can ignore it, whatever. They have a lot of agency on stage, and so that's really fun for me when I get to go out on stage and have no idea what I'm doing and just make it up as I go. Actually, it feels really great to do that. My favorite dance to make, my favorite kind of work to make is work that is accessible to a wider audience. Work that expresses a human condition. Work that takes the viewer on a journey, that has a narrative context. Work that is easy to digest. I love to see really abstract, conceptual modern dance. I love that stuff. And it turns out it's not the work that I'm interested in making. I've been so most gratified when I've made a work that reaches somebody, where they'll come up to me after the show and say, I know I've never been to a dance concert before, but I felt so welcome. I felt included. I received something from this work, right? And that, the first time that happened, it was so powerful to me to know that wow, I can do that through this thing that I love, right? And so it became a core value of mine.
Nice. Well, before you was a dancer, you were a singer.
Wow, you did your research. Yes, I was.
Tell us a little about
my life.
A whole chapter of your life. You're what, 29?
Oh, Shantae, you stay. I'm not going to say how old. No, I am. I don't care. I'm 41. So, yes, it was another chapter of my life. But, yeah, I grew up as a musician, listening to jingles on the radio while my parents were drumming us to my grandma's, and then I'd get to my grandma's and jump on her piano and figure it out by ear. So I was born with a innate musical ability and a really acute ear, like approaching perfect pitch. And so I at about 10 years old, my family started really noticing, and so they gave me a saxophone, and then I had a trombone, or not a trombone, a trumpet, and a French horn, and I was the drum major in the marching band, and music was my life. But singing was my main instrument, and I used to compete at these festivals and stuff in high school. Yeah. And then I went to school for music and ended up touring internationally with this chamber singing ensemble, singing for the Pope in papal addresses and hall, and it was a wild adventure. And then one day, like, this booming voice from the sky said, "This is it. This is no more. You'll have to do something else with your life. This is the end of the road." And so I went. 6 months later, I decided to watch a dance class. And within 5 minutes of watching that first class, the fog cleared, and I knew exactly what I was going to do with the rest of my life.
So we all wish it would happen.
Never looked back.
Fantastic. That's fantastic. Yeah. It sounds like your parents were very supportive too.
Yes, my parents were fantastic. Yes, and on all aspects of my life, my parents are incredibly supportive. My dad came to every choir concert, and I know he didn't love them. I know he did not love them, but he came to every single one. So I keep thinking like that. And I have a wonderful stepmother who is is so supportive into my life in every way. And every time something gets posted this week, actually, if you look on Facebook, you'll see my mom is commenting and telling me how proud she is of me. So
that's beautiful.
I'm 41 years old, and I'm like, thanks, Mom. You know, it's awesome.
So I only looked that way when I was 41. We have some questions coming in from the people in the World Wide Web.
Oh, right on.
Does anyone ask Mr. Hall if he looks like Matt Damon?
I've never heard that in my life. No, I gotta tell you, when I first moved to Los Angeles, it was 2004, and it was right around the time that the Bourne Ultimatum came out, and there were billboards all over Hollywood with
you on it.
With me holding a giant gun, looking down the scope. I mean, it was at that point the resemblance was eerie, actually, especially when it really kind of take me by surprise when I would see the billboard. It looked like I was looking in a mirror at first. Yeah. So I mean, you know, I had hair on top and I didn't have hair here. So, but yes, I have heard that. And once, yes, I did get a table for the restaurant.
What?
Sorry, Matt. Just once. I just thought it would be fun to try because people kept coming around the corners and looking, and we didn't have a reservation. So I just said, "Can you see us? Do you have room for us?" Damon, party of six.
Party of six.
Yeah, it was a party of six.
Wow.
That's kind of not a great thing to say, I guess. But I had to just try it once. It actually worked. So yes, the answer is yes.
That's great. Well, talking about that, do you have a favorite dance film?
I'm taller and younger. Okay.
Do you have a favorite dance film or a favorite Broadway show you danced Broadway show?
You know, Broadway's not my thing. I respect it tremendously. And everyone, yes, I know it's a surprise because, you know, sing, you dance, a bit of an actor. But there are a couple shows that, like, I absolutely love, like The Book of Mormon and The Producers. In general, it's just not been my cup of tea, you know. But like I said, I have tremendous respect for it. And it's, those two shows I have a lot of fun at.
Let's see, what else do we have? What burning questions do we have? So we did the singer one. Where can people get tickets for this weekend?
You can go to the...
people go in and get them now.
Yeah, right on. You can go to the website. We don't have it up here, but it's www.multiplexdance.org. Maybe we can flash it or type it in here somewhere.
It would be put up here.
You know what, though? You can just Google West Hollywood Dance Festival. I mean, we're going to come up right at the top. So... yeah, West Hollywood Dance Festival will take you to my company/festival website.
Yeah.
Right on the homepage, there's a link to go to performances, and it'll tell you more, you know, again about the companies that we're sharing these shows with, and a direct link to buy tickets. It takes you to an online ticketing system. We also do we will be selling tickets at the door. We would love it if people would get their tickets before they get in the car and come so that we have an accurate idea of who's coming.
Yeah.
And we have your name on a list, and it's really efficient. We can just cross you off and welcome you in. But we will be accepting cards and cash at the door as well.
Great.
The door price is $30 at the door. And so there's 3 shows to choose from. So Friday and Saturday, 7:30. Saturday also at 2. All shows are at the West Hollywood Park Auditorium. And there's parking at the 5-story structure. That's important to say.
Oh, yeah.
Validation, park validation. We're offering the park validation, so you can actually have garage parking and not have to.
Is it at the library next door?
You may end up paying like $1 or $2 if it goes, you know.
But in this town, $1 or $2 is nothing. You know that.
I mean, yeah, the convenience of having a garage. Another way the city it's just been amazing for us to provide support of having that garage available for everybody and doing the park validation. So. Thank you, City of West Hollywood. Thank you, Andrew Campbell.
So,
thank you, Michael Che.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Mike Fingal.
Oh.
It's fun talking to you.
So what do you want people to come when they leave the festival this weekend? What do you want them to feel? What would you like them to walk away with?
Oh, nice. That's a nice thing to think about. And I have thought about it. It goes back to the word accessibility. You know, I want them to feel that they were a part of a community. Very important. That community all received. They were entertained. They received messages that made them think, that inspired them, made them smile. Yeah, I want that people will come away with an emotional response, a positive emotional response for this. I've been saying that these shows are a kind of like this crossroads between a proscenium concert dance performance, a community town hall meeting, and a rock concert. There's a lots of lights. We're not going to be doing a lot of interstitial space between pieces. Lights down, applause, lights up, next piece. We're on a tight ship in that sense, just to keep it moving, right?
Yeah.
And with the seating in the round and people being able to share photos with each other and be able to send text messages to each other, I want the people to feel that sense of belonging, that sense of ease and enjoyment in watching a concert, that they don't have to figure out the dances or wonder about what's going on because they're digestible.
Nice. Now, you're doing all of this. What's making you most nervous?
Oh gosh, there's always the standard producer anxiety that like no one's coming, but I already know that's not happening because I looked at the numbers this morning. We have tickets sold, so I know there's at least this many people coming. I know, but always when you put something out there in the world, there's always a feeling of insecurity and wondering of like, are people going to enjoy this, or are people interested in going to see it? There's that. But I have learned in my experience to have faith. If you build it, they will come. And we built it, and so far they're coming. So, and I'm very confident that the community is going to come out and support it and have a really great experience.
And what are you most excited about your event?
What am I most excited about? Going to sleep. Sleeping in on Monday.
There you go.
Obviously, doing this is what I love to do. I mean, to put this much time and effort, and it's not me, just me, by the way. I mean, this is great to get to talk about it with you, but there's a whole team of people here that this festival could not happen without. David Mack, production manager, Zach Davidson, marketing director, Corinne Wicks, co-creative director, John Tenges, co-creative director, app developer. I mean, the list goes on and on. We have a team of 15 people, like they're like major players, getting our stuff out, publicity, marketing. Yeah. There's so much. So yeah, I'm looking forward to sleeping.
There you go. Looking forward to sleeping. Well, everybody, this weekend is the West Hollywood Dance Festival. It's happening tomorrow night, Friday at 7:30, Saturday at 2 p.m. and at 7:30. Also, tickets are on sale at
www.multiplexdance.org/WHDF. Just Google West Hollywood Dance Festival.
And we'll put the links up here, down there, wherever they are. Thank you for coming and watching the show today. Thank you.
Thank you. It's
for being here. Don't forget, folks, I'm going to be in Palm Springs. If you're going to be there, come see me at Palm Springs Comic-Con, or Comic-Con Palm Springs. I know I schooled on that last week, so I got it wrong. I'll be signing my books, of course, at the Prism comic table. And I will also be on the Wonder Woman panel talking about LGBTQ and its influences on us, and I guess maybe us on them, on Wonder Woman. And of course, I have to say, Linda Carter's singing too. So, I mean,
right on.
If you don't come see me, at least come see Linda. Anything else, please leave comments below. Share this with all your friends. Come to the dance this weekend, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching, and be good to everybody. Remember that. It's crazy out there right now.